Girl, the streets are saying that Kanye West's wife, Bianca Censori, is next in line to expose the insanity that Kanye has been putting her through. And let me tell you, the internet is gagged. Fans have been suspicious of Kanye for a hot minute now, and it got worse when he went on that messy rant where he declared support for Diddy. At the time, we thought that Kanye was just being Kanye, but word on the streets is that Bianca allegedly has a tape of her, Kanye, and Diddy. And get this, y'all, the tape allegedly shows them in some insanely freaky-deaky situations, if you catch my drift. The streets have been saying that Bianca is Kanye's victim, and it looks like she is finally ready to step up and tell her story. She is about to blow this entire situation up, so let's get into these new claims. Okay, so before we get into Bianca's claims, I just wanted to let y'all know that this does not surprise anybody. Girl, Bianca could tell us all that Kanye had her doing freak-offs in underground mines, and people will 100% believe her. Kanye has always had this weird side to him, but it got even freakier after his divorce. Don't even get me started on the insane stunt that he pulled at the Grammys earlier this year when Bianca bared it all on the Grammys red carpet. Now, you think that Kanye would at least keep his mouth shut, right? Well, if you think that, you clearly don't know Kanye. He went on a rant on Twitter going on and on about how he had complete control over her because she was his wife. He said, "I have dominion over my wife. This ain't no woke feminist crap. She's with a billionaire. Why would she listen to any of you dumb broke bees?" People say the red carpet look was her decision. Yes, I don't make her do nothing she doesn't want to, but she definitely wouldn't have been able to do it without my approval. You stupid woke pawns. I have no respect or empathy for anyone living, cause no one living can F with me, but I do love some people and give them favor. He then said, "Anyone who called my wife's Grammy look a stunt is dumb and lame. Yes, you. She been dressing naked for 2 years now. All of a sudden it's a stunt. Every single bee on the planet wish they had her bravery, body, platform, and access to money, and a husband that supported their personal expression. There are a lot of things that had to converge for this moment to happen." According to multiple sources, the situation was so bad that Bianca's family wanted to get involved. An insider revealed that her father wanted to have a talk with Kanye, saying Bianca's father Leo wants to have a proper sit down with Kanye and ask him what the heck he's thinking when he parades Bianca around like a trashy naked trophy pony. He wants to ask Kanye what he would do if his daughters North or Chicago were seen in public half naked in outfits encouraged by their husbands. He knows that there is no way that Kanye would allow this for his daughters, so it makes no sense why he would encourage this for his own wife. And it just wasn't her father, because her entire family and friends were horrified after that Grammy stunt. Another insider said her family and friends are mortified because it just keeps getting worse and worse. Bianca clearly doesn't realize that what she wore isn't only disgusting and setting a bad example, but she is also potentially breaking the law. Meanwhile, Kanye is covered up in 5 layers of clothes, and when his wife looked chilly while naked and wrapped in plastic, he didn't so much as offer her one of his capes. Her parents are so distressed over this because they do not recognize her. She would not be doing this unless she was being controlled. He continues to lock her in by giving her more stake and ownership over various projects that he has going on, including the clothing. Don't even get me started on the multiple reports from insiders about how he controlled Bianca and she could never do anything without his say-so. According to an insider, Kanye has a set of rules for Bianca, which includes never speak and wear what he wants her to wear. She is also required to eat certain food items and to work out, even though Kanye doesn't work out. He has been able to control Censori completely because he allegedly convinced her that they're royal. She has no mind of her own anymore. So like I said, when Bianca eventually files her lawsuit, Kanye's lawyers will need to come correct because the odds are not in their favor. Which brings us to why there are rumors of Bianca filing in the first place. See, a couple of days ago, Kanye showed up in court to support Diddy, but he ended up leaving after about 10 minutes. At first, fans thought he left because he was horrified by the things that he heard during the court proceedings, but this doesn't make sense because Kanye has always seemed to know what was exactly going on with Diddy and his shenanigans. He even went on another rant saying stuff like, "You bees were not S.A.'d, pardon me, let me put this in all yay caps. You Me Too bees did not get S.A.'d. You extorted ninjas, ninjas means men, bees means bees." He also said, "Donald Trump, please free my brother Puff, free Puff, Puff, we love you. I stood up for Puff and I'm still winning 20 Grammys next year and doing the Super Bowl." He also said, "My support of Puff is completely selfish. I need to find whoever been trying to out black moguls. I just found out that Puff is not allowed to make or collect money while he's locked up. So I'ma send his half of the money to Justin. Puff got me too, so did I. Free Puff. Did Puff get me too because of the fighting or because of the money? I never seen a broke ninja get me too." So yeah, this man knew what Diddy was up to and he has never pretended not to. So why exactly did he walk out of court so quickly? Was it because he was spooked by the revelations in court being worse than he knew, or was it because of something else? Well, according to a court reporter, both Kanye and Bianca supposedly came up during the cross-examination of a Jane Doe. While they weren't explicitly named, it's kind of clear that they were the celebs in question.
She had been broken up with Diddy at this time. Diddy was busy. He had Young Miami, Jessie, Gina in rotation. she was on a trip with a different rapper named Bear, and they were in Vegas, and she goes to dinner with this rapper for his wife's birthday, and then afterwards they go to a hotel, and there's an ex she recognizes there named Anton, and she's like, oh my god, like, why are you here? Like, I recognize you, because she obviously did Freak Offs. So this other celebrity had hired this this Anton with a woman. So they go to this hotel room, and there's 7 to 8 people, she said, just staring, watching. So there's this banging this woman, and there's 7 to 8 people watching. And at one point, she even took her top off, she said, because she was in the moment. And the famous rapper went up to her and said, I think you're very beautiful. I always wanted to F you. Now, not many rappers have wives with birthdays in January. So you guys can do the math, and you guys can figure out who it is.
This points squarely to Kanye because Bianca's birthday is in January. Oh, and last year they were in Vegas for her birthday. So the math is kind of mathing. And it is not looking good for Kanye. This explains why he was in court to hear Jane Doe speak. He probably needed to hear for himself what she was saying, and after 10 minutes, he had heard more than enough. Like I said, it's not looking good for him. Between Jane Doe's claims that he was at Diddy's freak-offs, his own public declaration of support for Diddy, and claims that he was Me Too'd, and now Bianca's upcoming claims, child, he is in for a tough time. But don't even get me started on how he has also been accused by 2 different women of alleged SA, and one of them even included Diddy. Singer Niki Heaton claimed that Kanye and Diddy allegedly came alarmingly close to SAing her. For those who don't know, Niki Heaton is a singer who had her breakout moment a few years ago. When she heard Kanye wanted to work with her, she was super excited because honestly, who wouldn't be? But things got weird fast. When she showed up at the studio with her manager, she wasn't expecting to see Diddy there along with 9 other women, and the vibe immediately fell off. Nike said she and her manager were offered drinks that they later found out had been spiked. And considering Diddy's history of allegations involving spiked drinks and all that, it wasn't all that surprising.
My manager was sitting across from me, and you know, if you know about like my past and like us being together, like I noticed as I was standing there just kind of just like wondering what's going on, Diddy kept looking at me and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink, and like I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I realized that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me, alone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And they're like out of their minds. And they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just, like, see, like, how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And, like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still, like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but, like, there's no reason to panic. There's other men here. Hold on a second. Real-time feedback. Yeah, so they're coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is, I don't know where my manager is, I don't know where anyone is, and they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to like take my clothes off, and I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm like still trying to like play it off, just like, stop, you guys are stupid, like, get out of here, like, don't touch me. Like a little bit scared. Did this just freeze? Okay, no, it's back. Okay, so let me just get to the point. So they start trying, like, they're like pawing at me, like they're both drunk, probably on something else, and I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like there's only one exit and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop, like stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like we know him pretty well.
Also, his former assistant, Lauren Pichata, also accused him of inappropriate behavior. She claimed that she used to do OnlyFans before Kanye made her stop. According to reports, after she closed the account, she claims that she was bombarded with explicit text messages from West, including adult videos. Pichata also claims he while talking to her on the phone, and that on one occasion, he pleasured himself in front of her after trapping her in a private room on his plane. She claimed that he would say stuff like, see, my problem is I be wanting to F, but then after I F, I want a girl to tell me how hard they've been F while I'm Fing them. Then I want her to cheat on me. He would apparently go on to describe his intimate fantasies with vulgar language. Another time, she claimed that he texted her saying, is my D racist? It is, this effing racist D of mine. I'm going to this racist D for being effing racist. I'm going to stare at pictures of white women with black behinds and ish out of my racist D ish out of this big black C. She later amended her wrongful termination lawsuit to include SA, making similar claims to Niki, claiming that Kanye allegedly spiked her drink and then SA'd her at one of Diddy's parties. According to reports, Pichata says she and her former artist management client, whose name is not in the lawsuit, were invited by Ye to the session he co-hosted with Diddy. According to the lawsuit, soon after they arrived, drinks were served to her and others in attendance, followed by an announcement that everybody had to drink if they wanted to stay. Pichata says she drank, but after a few small sips of the beverage, poured at the direction of Kanye West, aka Ye, by a studio assistant, and then served to her by Kanye West, plaintiff suddenly started to feel disoriented. Pichata says she woke up the next day remembering almost nothing of what took place at the alleged studio session and felt immense shame and embarrassment. TMZ reported that Pichata says years later, while working with Kanye, she claims West brought up the night in question, saying they did hook up and proceeded to provide further details of the alleged incident. Before Kanye allegedly provided those details, Lauren says she thought she simply got roofied and embarrassed herself at a work function. The legal document went on to say, after Pichata allegedly told West she had no memory of the studio session, West laughed and told her that women love to say they don't remember. Up until that very point, right before that very conversation, plaintiff was unaware that she had been subjected to gender sexual battery on that studio night by Kanye West, aka Ye. There are so many reports tying Kanye to Diddy, and when Bianca finally decides to file her lawsuit and leak the freak off tape between him and Diddy, it's game over for Kanye. But in the meantime, I want to know how y'all feel about Bianca turning on him like this, so drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.